Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sir Chief Dude. Welcome back to my Let's Play Kerbal Space Program 1.1.2 series, and we are picking up right where we left off. Year 1, Day 7, Minute 45. We had just researched general rocketry and survivability in the last episode, and we are ready to move on to the next mission on our list, which is Skyjump 1. We are going to attempt to reach an altitude of 5 kilometers. Our small spacecraft will begin with the Mark 1 command pod. Like everything else, we are going to first thing always add a parachute, just in case. Don't want to forget that. We're going to get rid of that monoprop again because we still don't need it. Okay, so we're going to add a stack decoupler here, and underneath that we're going to add a service bay. So most people, when they first start off, they just go ahead and launch their little rocket, their command pod, and then they use the flea booster, and they just set it straight up in the air and try and get some science that way. We are not going to be nearly so barbaric. What we are going to do is actually put 3, if I can get these set up. Alright, 3. Actually, there we go. Oh man, did not get these. Okay, 3 mystery gears. There we go, finally. Kerbal engineering system, we're going to throw one of these. Throw 2 of those in there so we're nice and balanced. I'm going to close this service bay. And we're going to add 3 Science Juniors. And then upon these, we're going to add 4 parachutes. And finally, our rocket. We're going to add some basic fins on here just for stability's sake. That puts us at 23 out of 30 parts, and we are only 6 tons. Plus, this should get us to 5 kilometers. Well, this will definitely get us to 5 kilometers altitude. Plus, I'm going to add another set of parachutes just to be safe. We really want to be safe here. We don't want to kill our Kerbals because they are expensive to rehire. We are going to put Bob back in here. Sorry, Jebediah, your time is not yet. Spaceship, let's go through our checklist. Control source, check. Reaction wheels, check. RCS, don't need. SAS, don't need. Power source, don't need. Electricity storage, don't need. Engines, parachutes, communication. Might as well throw a Communitron on here for, I guess, in case we need to radio home. Alright, we are going to call this Skyjump 1. Alright, and as you see, Kerbal Engineers popped up with a bunch of numbers. All of our costs, mass, ISP, don't need any of that. Alright, let's check our staging, because we want all these parachutes to go off when we decouple, and we want this parachute to go off. Alright, everything seems to check out. We have our first actual rocket. It is not very pretty. Let's go for launch. Alright, we are here on the launch pad. We have Bob Kerman in here, so we cannot engage our SAS, but we can. Crew report, nope, don't need that. Let's check. This wants me to do a materials study. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Materials study so we can get some science from the launch pad. And actually hold this open. Can I make it smaller? There we go. Alright, we're going to throttle up and go. Oh, that's throttled up way too much. Alright. Start doing our science right off the bat. As we do that, we are going to nose over to the west. Let's get a crew report. Let's go ahead and beam that back. Crew report. Alright. And boom, we've reached 5 kilometers. So we can cut our engine. Alright, we've got crew report. Go ahead and send that back. Gives us 14 electric charge left. And we've reached Apple Apps. Alright, here's the fun part. Quick save. Now we deploy our parachutes and decouple. So our goal is to land close enough to this that Bob can get out, walk over, and then collect more science from that once it hits the ground, hopefully at a safe enough speed. So we'll see how that goes. Fast forward here, parachute deploys, really ripping our speed down to something manageable. Right now we're going to hit at about 5.5 meters per second. So let's go ahead and fast forward till we get there. And it looks like it's about half a kilometer walk that he's going to have to take. Actually, a little bit closer than that. But it is uphill from the looks of it. So my only concern is that it's going to hit the ground and start rolling downhill, and he's going to have to stop it before it blows itself up. All right, quickly, on the ground. Let's do some more science. Bob, hop on out. Oh no, don't crash, don't crash. All right, sorry about that little interruption. The game crashed again. I think we might have to deal with this problem a little more frequently than I would like. But I went and reflew the mission because it sent me back to the launch, back to where we are on the ground before the crash. So I just went, EVA report, store those experiments, take those experiments, make sure we've got everything. And now what we're doing, we're actually, oh, that was a little bit weird. We're waiting for the spacecraft to, or the debris, the science. My goodness, the science. We're waiting for that to land. And while we do, we are going to run all the way over there. So I'm going to speed up time, make him run real fast. As he tries to catch this thing, he's going, I got it, it's in the outfield. Oh, nope, he's not going to make it in time. However, that thing's going to land. Oh, is it going to fall over? And boom. Oh, nothing broke. Oh, I'm surprised. Usually when something like that happens, things break. So we're going to run all the way over there. It looks like it's still quite a ways over there. Oh, he is a fast little bastard, though. Alright. Yay, go. Oh, that's an odd little... Oh, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. I didn't know you could do that. It's interesting. Observe materials bay. Because the special thing about you being a scientist means you can observe mystery goo. You know, I probably should have done that while I was on the ground. But I think that should be all of our science. So we're going to quick save here. Yeah. Recover the vessel. And then we have successfully... Oh, did I ever save the name of this rocket? Oh, yeah, I did. Huh. Having a little bit of a moment here. Alright, then we're going to go over here. Recover that. Oh, look at that. More science. 42.5 science. Alright, come on, get out of the way. And then recover that, which gives us 0.1 more science, I guess. We are up to 144,000 funds. 67 or 66.7 science. And I skipped over the thing, but Bob got a bunch of ribbons. Yay. So we're going to get stability right off the bat, and that gives us a chance to get one of these nodes. Advanced rocketry, general construction, aviation, flight control, or basic science. I think it's a pretty obvious choice. We're going with general construction. I'm just kidding. We're going with basic science because if you unlock science, you can unlock more science with the science that you unlock with your science. Yeah. All right, let's do it. It's going to cost us $24,000. Ooh, that's a hefty paycheck. Okay, but now what we do have is we still got 150,000. And oh, clicked on the wrong thing there. I need to be a little bit more coordinated. Okay. Back to mission control. Now we can accept this escape the atmosphere. We'll worry about all these little real contracts later. Right now, we've got some space agency stuff to do. We are not a commercial business. We are a space agency. Yes, so 138,000 funds. That gives us money. We can upgrade the astronaut complex. Now let's go pop inside here for a second. See, right now, see, as you can see what I mean when I talked about permadeath and it being hard because now it's expensive. 65,500 funds to hire one more Kerbal. And each one we hire gets more expensive. So for now, we've got to stick with the original 4. And oh, it's actually a nice little facility in here. See a little rocket picture, maybe a laptop. But watch this. Upgrading the facility for 75,000 funds, which is only a little bit more than the cost of actually hiring a new Kerbal, will increase our capacity to 12 Kerbals. Kerbals can perform EVAs, and then Kerbals can plant flags, which that gives us quite a bit of more freedom. Bam. Level 2. It looks a little bit bigger. We've got this little new roadway paved through, and the flagpole got bigger. Plus, now the interior is different. Ooh, spooky. All right, we'll worry about that later. Let's get on with mission 2, Skyjump 2. So for this one, our goal is to reach an altitude of 18 kilometers. But since we already launched from the vehicle assembly building, we're not going to do anything with spaceplane here. Let's just go ahead and skip to the next week. Time flies when you're, building rockets. And bam. There's our alarm. Delete, unclose, close alarm. Vehicle assembly building. Let's hop back in here. So as you saw, we only barely reached, let's go ahead and pull up Skyjump 1. With this rocket, we barely reached 5 kilometers. So for this, to change it, what we're going to do is delete that first, or that bottom Science Junior, replace it with another fuel tank. Now right now, this gives us a delta V of 1780 meters per second. 47 second burn. I think this could probably make it to 18 kilometers, but I'm not entirely sure, and I'm gonna rather be safe than sorry because it can get really annoying to have to refly missions. So what we're gonna have to do is, since we added all that extra mass, let's add some more parachutes. Woo, parachutes everywhere. Alright, and any of this we don't really need, but then the other important thing we got, and actually where are we at? We can only add one. We can add the too hot thermometer. Add one of those. Yeah, I think we're good. And we shall call this Skyjump 2. And again, Bob, oh, no, you sneaky Jeb trying to sneak onto my rocket. Bob Kerman will be our pilot again because we're going to need another scientist because we're going to do our little science jump hop thingy. Yeah. We are ready to launch. happened again. Let's just go ahead and get this done. Let's take a look at X science. As you can see, temperature scan. We can now do a temperature scan to get some science. That gives us 2.4 science. That's like going to make the difference here. So we're going to take that data out of the thermometer so that we can do another reading once we take off. Note for future reference, it is not safe to jump on the side of a rocket on the launch pad because bad things can happen. We're going to throttle up a little bit and go for launch. Right now we can already do another temperature scan. I think I'm going to actually, well, you know what, let's transmit the science, I guess. At least we'll get half of it there, and then we can always pick up the other half later, but it's better to have the science now rather than later. So as you can see, we don't have SAS, so we are drifting off to the side ever so slightly, which actually is not a bad thing. Not much interesting stuff's happening here. I guess I could observe the mystery goo, get a little bit more science from that. Or the science junior. Now observe the mystery goo, get a little bit more science from that. I'm going to close that up. Look at our apoaps rising above 14 kilometers. We got plenty of fuel left. We're going to get this to a solid 20, 22. 22 should be about fine. I think we'll make it from here. We just want to at least make an apoapse of 18 kilometers because then we enter a new biome, so to speak. High altitude science. Let's get that thermometer ready. And 18,000. Thermometer. Crew report. Science junior. Service pay. Open up. Observe Mr. U. Mr. U. We can do an EVA report, but I'm not going to risk that because knowing my luck, Bob will climb out and he will get blown off due to aerodynamic forces. So now we're going to start steering, increasing our angle of attack to try and keep this thing at a relatively decent speed. As we come down, we've got plenty of excess fuel, so in order to make sure that we're going slow enough for our parachutes to deploy, I'm going to start burning retrograde as indicated on our nav ball here. I'm just going to speed up time so this keeps going at a decent speed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold this stable though. Uh-oh, we're losing control. I need to slow down. And final suicide burn. There we go. I think we're good. And parachute. I don't know what that was, but here we are. About 7 kilometers up, dropped our parachute. We should be good as long as that doesn't land in the water, which could be a problem. So let's go ahead and do a temperature scan. Oh wait, we can't. Balls. You know what? Yeah, no, let's keep that experiment. We'll do a temperature scan later. And crossing my fingers, hopefully the game doesn't crash once again once we get to the ground. Because that very well could happen. Actually, I've got a plan just in case that does happen. Alright, so we're going to time accelerate our way till we're on the ground. Where is our debris at? I think that actually is going to be in the water, which kind of concerns me because I don't know how slow that's going to land or how fast that's going to land. Bob, looks like you might be going for a swim today. Alright, and we're back on the ground. So we can quick save, and we're going to physical time accelerate until our other thing gets to the ground. Once that gets to the ground, I think I can quick save, and then if I try and get out and the game crashes, it should load me my quick save with everything touched down on the ground over here. So that way I don't have to refly the mission if the game crashes. So let's go ahead and hurry up and finish that because we are running short on time here. And come on. Touchdown in the water. I think. Is it in the water? I don't know. I'm going to quick save anyway. So here we go. Here goes nothing. EVA. Take data. Take data. Log temperature. Take data. Alright. Good news is it didn't crash. Bad news is I have to walk 380 meters with this little guy. Oh, now we're going downhill. Yeah, no, I don't think it quite made it into the water, which actually might be a bad thing. I would have hoped it to have gotten into the water. I think that might have been better off for me, because then I could have gotten water biome. But now I think I'm going to get stuck with grassland biome again. So I'm not going to get as much science as I would have liked. Yeah, nope, looks like that's right on the shore. So it should technically be shore biome, but I don't think I'm going to be so lucky. And boom. Yep. Although it does look to me like not a big deal. Although I think that the Science Junior that broke might have been the one that I needed more. Yeah, I think so. Yep, well, I guess we're going to quick save here, recover the vessel. In this case, we're referring to Bob Kerman as a vessel. So let's see what we got here. Crew report, temperature scan. Alright, materials data. Mr. Gu. Material study from Kerpen's grassland. And command pod. Alright, everything's good. We are at 58 science. That gives us flight control, or aviation, or advanced rocketry. I think I'm going to go with flight control because that'll unlock my mech jeb, which is great. I'll explain more about that later in the next episode. But I do want to check. Kerbin's launch pad, flying. Oh, so I did get my material study. Cool. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We can officially mark off the Skyjump program as accomplished for our Kerbals. We will continue in the next episode. Until then, I'll see you later. But it's not a good sign when you're coming down over the mountains. Oh, geez. Nope.